Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to our town board meeting tonight. Again, we're doing it on YouTube, and anybody's watching, I'd like to welcome you. And we'll have to salute the flag, and I'll lead it tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Also, I ask that we remain standing for just a moment of silence for Chip Webster. I know we recognize him at our special board meeting, but Chip was a valuable member of our team. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, the first item of business would be to approve the minutes of the October 14th and October 21st meeting. So they want to make that motion. Motion by Rich, second by Donnie, to approve the minutes of the two board meetings. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Town clerk's report.
For October 1st through the 31st, marriage licenses of $75, clerk fees of $29.25, public health fees, certified copies of $320, landfill fees and punch cards, $17,315, business and occupation licenses, salvage license of $25, dog licensing, $116, building permits and site plan applications, $134, septic permits of $35. Total local shares remitted of $18,049.25.
Okay. Supervisor's report for October, total monies on hand, $2,477,805.26. Assessor.
Session report for November. Work continues in 2021 assessment rolls. This includes file maintenance and updates, reviews of property record files, field reviews and exterior inspections of recent sales and property changes. We continue this process throughout the winter months with the greatest concentration on new construction projects and other structural changes on parcels in towns that were submitted.
Planning.
Planning, there were 2 septic and 7 land use development permits issued the month of October. On October 22nd, the zoning board met to review a variance application by Kevin Monroe to allow a double-wide manufactured home on his property on Hudson Street. They made the interpretation that the application did not warrant a use variance, and that a permit was to be issued pursuant to New York State Executive Law 21B of the laws of 2015. The planning board or the zoning board have no meeting this month due to lack of applications. On December 1st, the planning board will be reviewing a site plan review for application for a boat storage business at 570 Screw River Road.
Code enforcement.
I'll check it for you. Checked all town streets for pre and actual dates of private garage sales. Issued 1 violation notice for commercial vendor set up on Hudson Street. Removed a group of teenagers who were using Cal Park as a skateboard center. Attended 2 October town board meeting. We hand out new code enforcement guide that was put together by planning and code enforcement. Set warnings for property owner 65 Alden Ave for violation junkyard condition was corrected. Check town for free items for after the private garage sale, a few that we were left removed in a day or 2. We're going to property transfer, Mr. McKinney. That project has gone forward because they have lack of response. Today I contacted Dan Steck and Mark Schachner regarding the language in law 616 pertaining to mobile manufactured homes. Sent warning to owner of 14 Skylight Lane, complaint of burning tires and chairs. Complaint was verified. Owner said he would speak with tenants. Received a copy of upcoming George zoning changes. Expected septic is 785 Schooner Road, all was designed. Sent notice to property owner at 7 Beswick Drive, town that commenced removal of trash from the property, 6,800 pounds of garbage was removed. Code enforcement has been forward after photos, neighbors praised the town's action. Expected septic installation of 67 Snow Shoe Ridge, all was as designed. Received numerous complaints at 135 Jenningsville Drive, owner was warned. Owner stated compliance will be met. Seven discussed the Dana Decker requirements, takes sexual harassment training numerous times for each different employer. Investigated sent notice to owner of Green Clothing Drop Box at Tops Plaza and First Baptist Church. Both locations were a mess. They were cleaned up. And the informational meeting of planning and zoning. Next, monthly report for commercial inquiries with planning and zoning departments for October. Jim Hall.
And he's got a list of commercial related permits. Steve Madden, Warrensburg Inn and Suites, permit for construction of an addition to be used for storage. Gary Baker, representing owners of the pizza shop. They inquired about building apartments in the rear of the property. The second inquiry regarding 3920 constructing apartments. They wanted to start with 8, would be restricted to less due to multi-family dwellings. I think that's, that would be the pizza shop, or not the pizza shop. Yes, the pizza shop, across from Bill's. The person from Sinai Retreats 418 inquired what uses would be allowed on the property across from 418. They were advised the property was in outside hamlet, and all uses are permitted. They would likely have to go through site plan review. They were referred to APA. The LUD permit was issued to Stewart Shops to place a freezer on the property. Glens Falls National Bank obtained a temporary permit for a temporary banner. Bernie Baker dropped off the application, as Brian mentioned, for boat storage on Screw River Road. And we worked on another option for proposed 8 apartments that was brought in earlier. So we are getting a few commercial people asking questions. Beautification.
The Warren Tannery Park and Heritage Trail. GIS map of Electric Avenue to Burhans Avenue is complete. Jim Lieberman met with our committee on October 21st. We discussed how to approach the project, getting together an outline of work that needs to be completed and identify potential partners. We will be getting estimates from Steve Ovett and then see what the costs are and how much in-kind services the town is willing to contribute. The fragmites on Echo Lake, soil and water beautification have been in contact with adjacent property owners to discuss the simple method of cutting to control the spread. Echo Lake Camp is very concerned and will be addressing the problem. John Francini has been cutting the weeds below the water level and removing from the water along his property line and going toward the town beach. Lucas Sandler has been cutting the weeds and removing from the water. This type of action by all the adjacent property owners will eventually stop the spread and the growth. 32nd Christmas in Warrensburg. Planning is underway. Only outside events will be at the town hall. The tree lighting ceremony will be live streamed, so there will be not a crowd gathering. Children's craft workshops, breakfast with Santa, and other inside events will be relocated throughout the town in businesses and participating churches. All New York State COVID-19 guidelines will be followed. Wear a mask, socially distance, hand sanitize. The capacity of indoor spaces will not exceed the guidelines. The town will deck the halls as our community comes together safely to celebrate the holiday season.
I understand we got a message sent to us. We need to speak up.
Someone indicated, could you please speak up?
Please speak up. Okay, highway.
We've been busy most of the month harnessing up the rest of the trucks and equipment for the winter season. We have swept out ditches throughout the town. They're full of leaves and will continue to do so as long as the weather permits. We've also done our fall leaf and brush pickup and will not be doing another one until springtime. Also, we have helped the town of Chestertown blacktop for 3 days and have done some blacktop patchwork on Mill Ave, Summit Street, and Lake Ave.
Okay, economic development.
Our local businesses continue to report good economic times, even with the COVID-19 challenges. That's not to say things couldn't be better, only that with all of the out-of-town traffic seeking the outdoor opportunities here in our business community has been able to survive in these troubling times. Some are indicating that 2020 may well prove to be a banner year for some of our entrepreneurs. Sad to report that the circumstances at the Mirror-McGee have not worked out at this time, and we wish the owners well in searching for the right party to take the helm and reopen one of the premier properties in the community. There are several properties on Main Street that have recently appreciated upgrades, and it has been noticed. It is always appreciated when our property owners invest and revitalize our appearance. Communications with Hickory Hill owner are ongoing and productive. There appears to be a significant interest in the reopening of this gem, and we as a community have a unique opportunity to steer the ship and develop a year-round facility and recreation experience for both our year-round residents as well as our out-of-town guests. And with regard to the exploratory committee for Hickory Hill, the facts: Hickory Hill, 80+% shareholder Bill Van Pelt IV is offered to lease the property to the town for $1 a year to form a relationship that should prove beneficial for both the community and the positive growth of the facility. Having sat idle for several years, the property is in need of several repairs as well as the equipment that remains on site. Mr. Van Pelt has his heart in Warrensburg, although currently resides out of state. He is willing to invest in the stated repairs to bring the facility up to speed and has plans to develop a well-researched plan to draw water from the Hudson River for the purpose of making snow. This is a plan that will take time and may have some success in 2021. The town's obligations, as we understand them today, would be to have in place an insurance plan that would protect the community, to share the cost of the electricity, to be prepared to compensate paid employees, to share in the grooming responsibilities, to share in the heating expenses of the lodge, and to oversee and manage the day-to-day operations, as well as coordinate other necessary participants to bring about a complete oversight of the operation. At this time, we are still in the information gathering stage of actual cost quotes and would ask the town board to continue the work of the exploratory committee in an effort to bring the best information back to the board at the next meeting. As more and more members of the community become familiar with this project, the enthusiasm is energizing. We feel that given at least another month, we will have a better handle on the true expenses as well as some of the preliminary forecast for income generation. And to be clear, the first month has been spent reaching out to as many folks who have had an interest in the hill as time has allowed, with positive responses from nearly all. There hasn't been much done in the way of upkeep, and we recently were able to get the parking area and Bunny Hill mowed, as well as the area around the lodge. The exploratory committee fully understands the obligation to present the board with a viable plan that does not rely on any funds coming from the taxpayer pockets. Consequently, we ask for more time to do our due diligence as we pursue this great opportunity for the community. It is important to remember that this opportunity is a year-round experience waiting to be developed and utilized by us, as well as to draw in others who enjoy the outdoor experience. This has the potential to be the needed economic incubator we could build upon. Any and all volunteers are welcome and can leave their names with the Supervisor Garrity's office, and we will be in touch with everyone. Thank you for your continued support.
I would say continue on.
Thank you.
Just, when you get into cost though, I would ask that we try to drill down on a budget, so we actually know the cost, because that is something that we will have to take to the taxpayers, even though you don't think it's gonna cost. There would be some cost involved in manpower and operations, so that has to go to the taxpayers. I would like to have, if we get that far with it, I'd like to bring the public in, to get their thoughts. I mean, everybody would like to see the mountain open, but at what cost? I guess that's my concern, so.
And I respect what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I ask, is we can make that one part of the plan, is to bring a budget in. Cost.
Thank you.
Historian?
Historian September and October reports. Visitors inquiries inquired about Jones and Lockhart families, Beth Kinghorn, looking for information on cemetery plots, graveyard walks. Lots of obituaries, September, Karen Hastings Gould, Judge Richard Nissen, Harry Chamberlain, Pastor Bob Berman. Those are September's. October obituaries, Regina Porter, Kelly Abbott, engineer, Barbara Spencer O'Sullivan, Gloria Sheva, Charles Chip Webster, Bernie Gallo, Dale Needham, Eliu Jacobs, Gary, Harvey Owens is the supervisor.
Thank you.
Meeting projects continue, skating, fireman photos, putting in notebooks and entering the past program at the museum. I'll be using many of the next year's display of anniversary of fire department, meeting with Chamber of Beautification and Historical Society to discuss how we can help each other. Work on characters, virtual graveyard walks, continue going through old scrapbooks and updating files. Met with existing members of the Thurman Historical Society. We decided to turn over all our ascensions and paperwork to them, to me. We'll soon be receiving and seeing what is needed. Completed second chapter of Memories of 75 Years, which will appear in the next issue of the Warrensburg Historical Society Quarterly. Meeting with Jim Libram, member of the Warrensburg Beautification and Historical Society regarding the Tannery Project. Continue collection COVID-19 articles and information. And she had 38 quarter hours. September Museum has 11 hours. You can work past program with Steve, improving and uploading items to the museum, which can be found on the internet. Volunteer Wendy Wholesale 1 day, Langworthy 2 days. October, she had 14 hours. Museum 13 and a half, volunteer Langworthy 1 day. Roughly submitted, Sandy Richards.
You want to read the museum, one of you?
I will.
Okay, good, thanks.
I recommend that the Historical Society Board, which meets the first Wednesday of the month, that's as our meeting is taking place, that the museum will be closed during the months of January, February, and March, as mentioned previously. Advancing ages of the greeters and the occasional icing of the parking lot are factors. A core group of about a dozen volunteers has continued to staff 6 hours per week that they are open. 4 upstairs volunteers will continue to function through the winter, accessioning, organizing, and maintaining the collection, as well as helping me develop future exhibits. Sandy Parisi and assistant Charby Bona continue to scan digitally the hundreds of photos provided by the Warrensburg Fire Company. The originals will be returned to the fire company in plastic sleeve albums. We're in the process of creating a new exhibit for the elementary school entitled "What's in a Uniform?" Mannequins dressed as a nurse, Marine Corps officer, sailor, civil defense officer, firefighter, plus uniforms of Boy Scout, Cub Scout, Camp Fire girls, basketball, and girls hockey championship jacket will be displayed. The message to students is one of service, community, cooperation, teamwork, camaraderie, and sacrifice. Recognition of local military sacrifice over the past century and a half will also be included in honor of Veterans Day. Liz Seabald has worked with me pulling this all together. We expect to be open during Christmas and Warrensburg weekend, December 5th and 6th, from 10 to 3 p.m. Teresa Whalen suggested the use of the front room on Saturday between 10 and 1 for a special CID postal cancellation. Christmas morning. A post office employee will be accepting packets of mail for this service. The drawing for our Salmon of Warrensburg raffle will take place on Sunday at 2 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Steve, please.
Okay, Parks and Rec.
Leaves have been falling, so we have been busy doing fall cleanup. The work at the Paper Mill Park continues to make progress on the overlook and the boardwalk. We are hoping to have the boardwalk finished by December. Christmas lights are being installed with more lights being added for the season. Tracy Benoit.
Okay. Sewer water.
Sewer report for November, October 17th. Our head sewer plant operator, Chip Webster, passed away. He will be truly missed by all of us. With his passing, we have had much to do to get the paperwork filed, due with the discharge monitoring reports for the DEC, as well as doing the other daily duties that need to be done. We had an issue with pump station A, and to call Seaward Equipment to come diagnose the control problem. Parts were ordered and it was repaired pump station C had a faulty check valve, it was repaired and is running properly. October 27th, we tapped the sewer line for a new home on the corner of Hudson Street and Park Drive. Tracy Mullen. Water report for November. 4 meters were removed and water shut off at the street, and 3 curb stands were repaired. We've gone on several meter inspections for high usage and possible water leaks. Hydrant flags were installed for the winter, well houses winterized. On October 17th, we lost one of our water plant operators, Chip Webster, who we sadly missed. Department of Health was notified to make sure we were in compliance with licensed operators. Although we were at our bare minimum, we are in compliance. This minute, Tracy Mullen.
Any youth? Nothing on youth. We had no communications, unfinished business. We finally have a date of December 16th at 7 o'clock. We'll meet in the new Firehouse Edition for an in-person meeting to discuss planning and zoning issues. And we'll post that on the website. That's December 16th at 7 PM. We're gonna meet in the new firehouse. That way we can social distance. We'll ask everybody bring their mask. We will take your temperature on the way in and log it in, and you'll have to sign in. But we can spread enough tables out over there to accommodate more than the 8 people we could do here, so. That should go well. We will have an agenda so we can stay on point. I don't want it to be a free-for-all. I want us to stay on point. So we're gonna stick to an agenda. Next month, I'd like to schedule a public hearing at this town board meeting for December 9th to discuss the making a change to the Hamlet mixed-use zone classification, allowing the granting of special use permits and that clarification. This will be a public hearing only, and we're gonna take input for the public, whether the town board wants to move forward with the advent of special use permits in the Hamlet mixed zone classification only. So this process will probably take us 90 days. The first phase is we'll schedule a meeting next month, and then if it looks like we want to move on and that it's favorable, then what we'll have to do is work with our planning and zoning people to come up with what we want into a special use permit. We have the rights to put certain things into the special use permit, and then we'll go on from there. And I think probably by February, we should have an application for that Hamlet mixed use. At least that's what we're trying to do. So, but it does take time, and we are working towards that. Any questions from anybody? I know, Brian, you missed it, but it was a good meeting. He came and explained it to us, and we thought that was the best way to go. And you can write a criteria in those special use permits. It could be a little bit more stringent if you wanted to, but I think what we'll do is by next month's meeting, we'll have a good idea where the special use permits zones are. And we'll have to take a good look to make sure whatever we write into that, if it's approved, if we have hopefully the public will agree with us. So it's just a moving ahead for the town and the zoning. I need a resolution request to issue a ban in the amount of $214,000 for the wastewater treatment plant screen project. This is a screen replacement project. This is the one we talked about. We've okayed moving ahead with the project. I thought we were gonna pay some of it. We still may put some down, but I'd like permission for Bob to go out and seek a ban on this project. So can I get a motion on that? Motion by John, do I second by Rich to move ahead with a resolution authorizing the issuance of up to $214,000 in serial bonds of the town of Warrensburg to pay the cost of wastewater treatment plant and fluid screen replacement, and authorizing the issue of up to $214,000 in bond anticipation notes of the town of Warrensburg for the same purpose. So we have a motion, we have a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, we'll get that out in the paper as soon as we can. Next tonight, I need to approve an action tax request from Warrensburg Beautification Incorporated, amount of $2,839 for the farmers market advertising expenses. So somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion by John, second by Donnie, to approve $2,839 from Oxytex. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Next, I have a resolution request, again from Warrensburg Beautification Incorporated, in the amount of $3,500 for expenses that will be incurred in Christmas in Warrensburg. And this is probably the only time I ever issue any money without bills, but I will ask Teresa to turn in bills for and she's asked for up to $3,500. So somebody want to make a motion by Rich? We have a second by Donnie to approve $3,500 for Christmas in Warrensburg expenses. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, discussion plans by Warrensburg EMS. I had handed out to everybody a copy of what Warrensburg EMS has asked for. They are looking for a 30 by 60 building to be built next to their current structure over there on King Street. They're asking the town if we would either give some of the old town highway property to them so they could expand up north of their current building. And I've asked them to put together a more detailed plan and bring us in and probably put some stakes over there where they think they need to end up. And then I'll bring it back to the board and we can vote on it. So it would be a Morton type building and it would be a turnkey project. Their estimated cost that they had, it may not be current, was around $187,000. They have money in there for paving and then making improvements to their old building, what they like to change, move the old building into like a training facility and also barracks, or they say, and then they would move their ambulances into this new building. So we'll have more information as we go along. And I told them, we will try to work with the EMS organization and do the best we can to see where they come. So I thought it was a good meeting, and I think Corey does a very, very good job over there. So
Yeah, I sat with Kevin also, and it's a busy squad. They definitely need to grow on their facilities, and as if we can help them extend a little bit into a little bit bigger property, and I definitely support what they want to do. So, and if it ever goes to a different direction for countywide, it's still gonna be a home run. So, good move.
I need a resolution request to re-levy $5,634.18 in water main repairs and property maintenance cleanup for the 2021 taxes. And the properties involved, I don't have the addresses, but there was 6 properties that were cleaned up for code violations, and there was one property that we had $1,288.68 for repairs of the water main that was broken by a contractor. So I need a motion to re-levy these charges. Motion by John, go to second.
I'll second.
Second by Rich to re-levy $5,634.18. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, carried. Okay. Next, I had a request from our assessor. Our assessor just picked up another week's vacation. He'd like to carry up to 7 days over in next year on vacation time. And one of our policy says you must get town board approval. So, motion by John, second by Donnie to allow the assessor to carry over 7 days in 2021. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay. I have one budget transfer tonight. We're going to transfer $5,000 out to sewer equipment into sewer contractual to pay for some contractual expenses. The balance of the year is $5,000. We had money left over in the equipment. So I have a motion to approve that one transfer. Motion by Rich, second by John to approve the transfer to sewer. All those in favor? Aye. Okay. On warrant number 11 tonight, the total warrant tonight is $74,673.96. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the warrant? Motion by Donnie, second by John to approve warrant number 11 in the amount of $74,673.96. That's all I have on our formal agenda, I'd like to congratulate Pam Lloyd. Pam picked up the most votes last night on an unopposed race for town clerk. She picked up 1,196 votes, or was it 99? 1,199 votes on the Republican line. And I don't know if she beat Trump or not, because we haven't seen the final things, but that was good, Pam, thank you. Now I'll turn it over to town board. Do we have any comments from the public?
Not as of yet, no.
No comments from the public. Okay, town board. Donnie, got anything to offer? Nothing. Brian?
No, quiet.
Quiet. Rich?
Thank you.
Okay. John?
It's that time where it's darker faster, and I'll need to do my roundabout town, check out the streetlights before next meeting, and have some call-ins for, see if we have all the man outages and whatnot, so I'll be doing that, so for lighting district.
And I know the guys have been really busy putting out Christmas lights. We got a couple new little wrinkles coming this year. I don't want to give them away yet. But I know they've been out there every day and, it's been kind of crappy, but the next few days would be good weather to hang lights. And so that being said, I'm going to probably ask Lisa Alexander if she wants to put together a little tour of the town where we could send it down to tourism and maybe have a little map drawn up where to go around to see the different displays. So I did tell tourism we were going to do displays, and they'll promote us on their websites and through the county. So I think with one of the changes coming up, actually, she's got a couple of things planned. So, and I'm not really sure until I see them go up, but, perhaps another, something else lit up this year for Warrensburg. So we need something that's uplifting with this coronavirus. Again, I gotta thank all our employees for continuing to come to work and working hard, and the public for being mindful of the different things they have to do, wearing a mask. We do get complaints from time to time at different businesses. We try to handle them best we can. Sometimes we can't. But, until this virus is over with, I just ask everybody to please stay safe and have a good Thanksgiving. I will tell you, the fire company is doing their annual senior citizens Thanksgiving dinner the Sunday before Thanksgiving, and I forget the date. It's on the door back there. I think it's the 21st or 22nd. And it will be takeout only. We're gonna run it sort of like what we did the chicken barbecue. And please call for a reservation. Call the answer machine, 518-623-9766. Leave a message on your name, telephone number, how many dinners you request, and then we'll call you back, and then we'll ask that you drive over between noon and 2 p.m. on that Sunday to pick them up, and we'll serve you right out the back, just like we did with the chicken barbecue. So that seemed to work well, and it's open to all seniors in Warrensburg and the surrounding area. So we'd like to be able to do that. Unfortunately, we can't bring anybody into the firehouse to sit down, but I think they'll enjoy the meal. Nobody else? Anything else? And I guess, will we be seeing you before this? No, we won't. I'll wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. This year, I know we're a little bit early on this because next week is Veterans Day, next Wednesday. And congratulations to all the veterans, and we appreciate their service. So that being said, motion adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, thanks, everybody.